Iraq should give us oil to pay for the war, and American blood should not be shed overseas in these long, protracted wars. We talked a lot about that. And you have been under fire from that day forward. Russia, you talk about it all the time. Now you face as many as 4 criminal trials during an election year. Now, I've said this publicly, and I'll say it here in Iowa. I'm not sure that Donald Trump can get a fair trial in New York, Washington, D.C. I don't think you can get a fair trial in Fulton County, Georgia. Now, where I think you would do better in terms of real justice would be on appeal. The trials will take place during...
Let's do it in Iowa.
There you go.
He's innocent.
But that has got to weigh heavy on you. And what is your reaction to that, considering all the charges all stem from a couple of years ago?
Yeah, they could have done this 3 years ago, and it would have been long over. But they didn't want to bring them because they had no case. And then they saw how well we're doing in the polls. And the 2 questions I get more than any other is, number 1, will they do it again, sir? Will they do it again? Will you stop them? And we're going to stop them. Number 2 is, how do you take it? How do you get up in the morning, and how do you take it? And that part is easy for me to say. I love what I do because we are going to make our country greater than ever before. And it's so important. It's so important. We are going to do things. We're going to close the border. Day 1, the border gets closed. And day 1.5, we drill. You know, we drill, baby, drill. Drill, drill, drill. And probably on day 2, we'll get rid of this ridiculous electric car mandate. We have to go and buy a car. We're going to buy a car. And it doesn't go far. You know, there's a little problem. It's very expensive, and it doesn't go far. So I guess they want to keep you away from going too long a distance from your home. But the whole thing is crazy. You know, they want to make now electric army tanks, and they want to make electric trucks. But the electric trucks don't go very far. You know, on a diesel fuel truck, the big ones, great ones, you go 2,000 miles. On an electric truck, you have nothing left because the battery is so large. Believe it or not, it takes up most of the space, so that's a little problem. But it only goes 300 miles. And yet, it doesn't matter to them. A child would understand, therefore you can't do it. You talk about a supply chain problem, therefore you can't do it. The country is sick, and you say this. Do they know what they're doing? Are they smart? Or do they know what they're doing? How could they do it? I see John Kerry all over the place talking about we have to get rid of our coal plants, and yet China is building 1 coal plant a week, massive coal plants, and they're doing it just automatically. And John Kerry wants us to stop doing anything. We can't. We have a country. We have to fire up our factories. Wind is not going to fire up our factories, and it's the most expensive energy. Even solar. I like solar from a concept standpoint, but it's massively expensive. And we can't allow China to build a factory a week, and we do nothing. They build a coal plant, and they're obvious about it. And then Biden goes to see them about global warming. The only global warming we should be thinking about and worrying about, because it could happen tomorrow, is nuclear global warming, not global warming.
We almost have to go to a break. I want to go back to this one issue, though, because the media has been focused on this and attacking you. Under no circumstances. You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day 1.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day 1.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not
drill.
That's not. No. That's not retribution.
I'm going to be. You know, he keeps. We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No. Other than day 1, we're closing the border." And we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
So that sounds to me like you're going back to the policies when you were president. All right,
exactly.
Take a break. Just getting started. We're in beautiful Davenport.